Session 17. Session 17. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin with the name of God, who is most gracious and merciful. Namaduhu Nasalli ala Rasulihil Kareem. And we begin with blessings on Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Today we shall continue with our subject, liberty. That is, does man have the right to do whatever he likes with his own body? Does man have the right to do whatever he likes with his own body? Allah has raised mankind and structured the human society on couples, spouses, man, woman, bounded as husband and wife. Idea fixe after the 20th century regarding liberty, freedom, the rights of the individuals, the right to do whatever one likes with one's own body, secular values and lifestyles, totally secular worldly orientation of living resulted in millions of men and women clamber out of the strewn wreckage of their marriages. Divorce, separation, single-parent houses, and other forms of familiar disaster overtook millions in a process of few decades. The modern society thus reeks with the adverse effects of these malapropos combinations like lesbians, gays, open marriages, single-parent houses where the husbands keep changing rounds precisely like animals, dogs, tomcats, and pigs. Without looking into the actual causes, that is, lack of spiritual recourse and godlessness, malcontent, dejected, frustrated, and lonely and rebellious people in millions initiated the traumatic process of changing the socio-sphere and dashed to find shelter, solace, peace in all sorts of experiments in life, nefarious, malodorous combinations, equations of living other than as devoted, committed, and responsible husbands and wives. Apart from lesbians, gays, these included unmarried couples, the absolute ruination, paralysis, ineffable, unexplainable failure of the modern social sphere is demonstrated, can be seen in the incredible proportion of single-parent families. On the average, as of 2002 AD, more than 80% children in USA, UK, Europe are living with single parents. The Western society is reeking with the adverse, ghastly, psychosocial effects of these pathetic combinations. Social phobia is the outcome of breaking up of the nuclear family, that is, husband, wife, and 2 children. And let not the disbelievers live with the false and distorted perceptions that the world is a hugger-mugger, a bedlam, and there is none to grip them, and they can live an unmolested lifestyle of all bodily pleasures. If Allah prefers, He can remove you all from the face of the earth, eliminate the mankind, or put it at a backstage and establish another Genesis. Surah Al-Fatir, verse 16. Excellent and perfect in obedience as the angels. Every individual is a life renter of the worldly things, whereas the deeds shall stick to man till eternity. Opportunities to perform the evil are actually trap laid for those inclined to devilish deeds. These powers, opportunities, and freedom are not a golden spoon in the mouth, but a knife in the back, of which you are forewarned well in advance. Remain in your shoes, in your limits, for when Allah grips, punishes, none can come to rescue. Man has established a right for visceral bodily pleasures, a diabolical, a satanic lifestyle in the name of freedom, liberty, and rights of the individuals. Communities had adopted such subcultures and cultures earlier too, which Allah devastated as a lesson for the mankind. Some numbskulls understand the purpose of things that man has made, manufactured, and uses all the facilities in the world provided by Allah to his own visceral purpose, but doesn't recognize the purpose of his own creation, that is, to be voluntarily subservient to Allah. That is, to be voluntarily subservient to Allah alone. There is no duplication, superfluousness, wastage in Allah's creation. He hasn't created the man and woman to replicate each other. Fin de sale, end of the 20th century, women's lib has been stressed to an unnatural replication, duplication of the different roles, not rights, Allah has given the women and men. Equal rights have been inextricably mixed up, confused with same roles to psychosocial devastating effects and suicide of brilliant communities. But Allah has a grand scheme of things, of running the universes, else bringing mankind or certain communities to an abrupt or gradual end isn't problematic for Allah to the least. He has well demonstrated his capability to destroy people within seconds. Once he grips, disbelievers, sinful, cannot backtrack to reformation, and it's all just easy for him. And once they are up the spout, in trouble on the doomsday, none will bear anyone's load, burden of sins. Even the dearest would avoid contact. The Prophet, peace be upon him, has been sent to forewarn, to be convincing for those who are not heedless, hedonists, that is, believing that everything is pleasure, those who fear Allah without having seen him and offer praise, salah, and have it taped. He who reforms does to his own good, no favor to the Prophet or to Allah. You will see it, the good and the evil you have done, when everything returns to Allah. Allah unfolded the universes with the first big bang. He'll fold up all his creations and their deeds with the second big bang. Allah would decide the disputes between people and restore the interpersonal rights of each by making those who committed excesses compensate the wronged, harmed, the victimized. And the spiritually alive shall not be equated, as the refulgent light and grave darkness are the same, as nor are the cold and warm alike in effects, and neither are the spiritually living the same as the spiritually dead. Allah would differentiate between everything, having the most slender differences to an infinite degree of perfection. Allah can convey His message to anyone He considers appropriate, even to the dead, but none can convince those who have enclosed themselves in the graves of their ill-fated, cussed, rigid attitude of closed minds and hearts, those who have decided not to listen. The Prophet has been sent to convey the message of Allah, order the good, and prescribe, prohibit, condemn the evil, and forewarn the people. He can't proselytize, convert by force. That's all for today. Jazakallah.